Good morning, everyone. So we are going to proceed with our recordings, and today I'm going to do the cash book. So we will focus on page 16 and 15. So on page 15, we have our bank statement, and we'll link it to the information given here. But everything starts in terms of the cash book, start on page 13, 1.9, receipts and payments. It says process the payments and receipts in the relevant journal. Use the bank statement and additional information to process the receipts and payment. Use the bank transaction number as reference. Give detailed description, including the number of document of proof if available. Right? Okay. Let me highlight the part where it says use the bank statement and additional information to process receipts and payment. That is why I was saying to you, we will start on page 6. We are on page 16, so we'll also use page 15. So it's because we use the additional information provided in from page 16. We have our additional information here, and then you will notice that we don't have amounts here. That's why we are going to check on the bank statement how much is the amount. And remember, the amount that appears on the bank statement is the correct one. All right, go to page 14 under 1.9.2. It says it says bank statement of Pencafe of the current accounts received for March 2024. The amounts on the bank statements are correct. The amounts on the bank statement are correct. So that's what I was just saying to you. All right, so now I'm going to open our company. So the Pastel, firstly, we open Pastel, it's Sage Pastel, Sage 50C Pastel Partner. Then we're going to open our company after this. Just remember how to key in your ID number. Set up company parameters. Then file open Pencafe. We're looking for Pencafe. Here's Pencafe. Password, in our case, it's CFS. And then, now we can open our cash book. And then we say process cash book. Then we click on process cash book. You get a message. What is it? Would you like to connect? Show this message. Would you like to connect to the selected cash book? Say no. Okay, here's our cash book. Here's our cash book. So with regard to our cash book 01 bank is where you record the cash receipt and cash payment journal. Then 02 is where you record petty cash. If you are dealing with petty cash, you'll change here and select 02. Because we're going to start with receipts, you'll notice that the petty cash and the bank is the same in terms of the receipts and payment. That just ensure that when you want to record the receipts and payment, you select bank. Then petty cash payment to change to 02 here. It might say petty cash. So now we start with receipts. You're going to click receipts. We are on page 16, additional information of current account transactions. Some of this information is extracted from corresponding tax invoice received by electronic mails. So you'll get to understand what it means, this one. It simply means that we will have transaction whereby we are recording for, or we are receiving money from customer. Remember, as we were selling to customer, only one customer was a cash customer, meaning that the other two are credit customers. They are not buying on cash. And then therefore, they will have to pay at some stage. And when paying, you'll have to refer to the invoices and do calculation on how much is due from the customer. All right. We are on our receipts. We go to settings. Under settings, we are going to activate text processing so that our receipts can have text column. We're also going to activate inclusive. And then I think that's it. Increment reference, it says once, you can say no. We'll type our references manually. Then we say close. All right. Now let us start. It says here under receipts, the owner paid capital into the business bank account. The owner paid capital into the bank account and there is no amount. What we are going to do, we are going to use the reference number to locate the transaction from the bank statement so that we can see the amount. All right, the reference here is R02001. So we'll go back to page 15. Sorry about, I'm just having flu. Page 15, we are looking for R0201. Let me just open our question paper here so that you can see. I'm just going to do this once. This first time. Here's our bank statement. If you check, here's the reference. Here's the reference. And also the date when you record, you'll use this date. 01/03/2024. Now here's the reference. It's R02001. And here's the details of the name of the owner. Then if you check, the amount is 15,000. Then that's it. We can record our transaction on the cash payment. All right, on the cash receipt, sorry, not cash payment. Now the period is period 2, enter. The date is 01, enter, enter, enter. All right, the account is capital. So you'll activate description and type C, or you just type the account number if you know the account number. Now here's capital. Enter. The reference you will type the R02 and then /001. All right. Then description will type the name of the owner. It's there from the bank statement. Is this taxable? No. We do have a list, an attachment. I will also do this once. Let me show you for tax reference. For you to know whether this is taxable or not, you check here. Let me scroll down. It's a addendum. Here it is. Here it is. Do we have capital here? If we don't have, you'll use your knowledge. I don't see it. Capital is not taxable. I don't see it though. If the account is not appearing here, you lose your knowledge of accounting, your understanding as well. Yeah, so we cannot activate charge tax because the owner contributed money for capital to the business. You don't charge tax. So you leave it as 00 there. All right, you press enter. You type the amount, which is 15,000. Just like that, you are done with the first transaction. Now let's go to the next one. The next one, it says here, Felicia Mboia, a travel agent, rent space in the shop of Pencafe. So this one is rent received. We are going to identify the transaction to get the date and the amount. I'm not going to show you the question paper here because that's going to delay me. I assume that you'll be having the question paper. All right. I'm identifying it's the date is 01/03 as well. Felicia is appearing on the bank statement. The amount is 8,600. So the date is 01, enter. Sorry, the period, sorry. Period is 02, enter, and then date is 01. So it's a general ledger account. There is something that I didn't explain. Under the column of GCS, this column, GCS, G stands for general ledger. If it's a general ledger account that you are recording, you leave it as G. If it's a customer, you change it to C. If it's a supplier, you change it to S. You will get to see when we do the customer, the effect of it to the C. When you change to C, you press enter twice, you get a list of, you'll get a list of customers in terms of instead of general ledger accounts. So here we are looking for rent. Should be rent received. Should be rent received. You can type rent. We do have rent income. Here it is. 2900 rent income. Don't select rent paid. And if a rent income are equal, you don't have it, you're supposed to add the account. You know how to add. Then enter until reference. Then the reference will change it to 2. This one is 2. I think I should have activated increment reference because these references are increasing. Okay, I will change it. All right. So you will type Felicia as our description because it's the one who's paying the rent received. We are receiving from Felicia. Enter. Let me check in terms of rent, whether it's taxable. Rent paid, rent received. Taxable, it says no. You leave it as 00. I think I said it's 8,600 if I'm not mistaken. Verify, let me verify. Yes, it's 8,600. Enter until the next line. Just like that, you are done with transaction number 2, and we can move into the third one. It says here R02003 receipt 1,500 from Durbanville Prep School for settlement of account as on 1 March. Now, if you remember, Durbanville is our customer. So because already you've processed your customers, you've processed your suppliers, you did your invoices, you are familiar with the customer names and suppliers names. So the moment you come across Durbanville, you will know that Durbanville is your customer. All right. So now the reference is R02003. Then you are going to refer on the bank statement to identify the date and the amount. Yes, the amount you are given, but we will refer for the date. Durbanville, it's 02. Throughout is 2. Date is 02. All right. Now, under GCS, I'm going to change type C. And normally, the customers, cash receipt is associated with customers. We normally receive money from our customers. And then cash payment is associated with suppliers. However, it is possible to have a receipt transaction, a payment transaction. We can have a customer in the payment channel. Remember, we have a cash customer. If that cash customer, you find that the cash customer is returning something that he or she bought, then that transaction goes to the cash payment because it's a refund on cash sales. Unlike the credit customers. So, yeah, in that case, we can have customer on the cash payment channel. But otherwise, customers are associated with receipt, suppliers are associated with payments. Now we'll put C here, enter twice to get a list of customers. Here we go. We have Durbanville Prep School. So if you forgot these names, then you are going to have a problem because you won't tell whether Durbanville is your customer. Then you might end up recording it as a general channel, which will be wrong. So enter reference. I forgot to change it to increment. All right, then it's 3. Here the description, you will say settlement of account as on 1 March. It is very important, the date. Settlement of account as on 1 March. Now, guys, the fact that it says as on 1 March, remember, 1 March is the beginning of the month of our current period. And chances are on the 1st of on the 1st of March, we have not made the sales to the customer. If you check Durbanville, let me check, I'll tell you the date of the sales. We sold to Durbanville on the 13th of March. Therefore, if they say settlement of account on 1 March, it means that we are not receiving money for the current period. The customer is not paying for the current purchase. It means the customer is paying from the opening balances. Now, if you go back, let me just go back. I want to show you what I'm talking about. It's very important, guys. The video can be longer, but as long as we understand. Here is our customer, Debenville. Okay, wait. The sales here. The sales is 13. Okay. Now let me go to the opening balances. Debenville. No. Yes. Here is our custom. Debenville. So these are opening balances. These are opening balances. Yes, it is possible that we were never required or expected to record these opening balances because the opening balances are processed according to the instruction. We have 4 types of opening balances. It's a supplier, customer, general journal, and inventory. Yes, these ones are, you can be expected to do opening balances for all these 4. Yeah, here's the inventory one. Now, what tells us or guide us in terms of the opening balances is the instruction. They will tell you that use the information at 1.2. Then you know, okay, I'm going to process the opening balances of general journal. In this case, they said 1.2 and 1.5. They did not talk about 1.3. They did not talk about 1.4. Therefore, we did not process the opening balances for 1.3. We did not process the opening balances for 1.4. So don't be confused. Don't be confused on why didn't we process the opening balances for these 2. It's because of the instruction. It was clear. You are expected to process the opening balances for 1.1.2 and 1.1.5. That is why we ignore these 2. Now to understand our receipts of this customer, I need to explain this. The reason I'm going to the opening balances is because this amount is from the opening balances. It's not from the current sales. No. If you check the amount paid by the customer, it's 1,500. And then if you check on this side, on the opening balances for Depenville, it's 1,578 rands 43 cents. Therefore, it means that the customer was given a discount of 78 rands 43 cents. This one will be discount because it says settlement. It does not say payment. When it says settlement of account, it means that the account is settled, it's fully paid. Then it must be all written off. So now it means that whatever balance that remains, it's a discount. Sometimes they will tell you that there's a discount of 10%. Therefore, you'll come here and calculate. In that case, they will not give you the amount. Then, therefore, you'll come here and separate the 2. You'll calculate the 10%, which is the discount. The 90% will be the settlement, the question mark. I'm just explaining. So in this case, I'll open a calculator even though it's unnecessary to calculate. So in this case, on the bank statement, the amount that appears is 1,500 paid by Debenville, and they say it's a settlement of account. So the balance here from the opening is 1,578.43 cents. Then you're supposed to minus 1,500, which is the amount that we are receiving. Then the balance is what? Is discount. We are going to record this as well, 78.43. This is your discount. The settlement is 1.5 we are given. That is why I have to show you the opening balances so that you can also record the discount. So the amount given is 1,500. Enter. Then we have discount here, discount tax, enter. Then we have discount. So here the discount, we will put the 78.43 cents. Sorry, I did not put a point. 43 cents. So now when you add the 2, you get the balance that was due from the beginning. And I repeat, the reason we record the balance is because the statement is saying settlement of account, meaning that the account is fully paid out now. Therefore, the difference must be recorded as discount. All right. Enter to the next line. Just like that, you are done. All right, I'm going to number 4. Here it says a fixed deposit of 25,000 at Volkskas Bank matured and paid out with 2.7% interest for the year. Create a new account, which is interest received on fixed deposit. We are going to create a new account, which is interest received on fixed deposit. Now, here we are having two accounts to record with the same date, with the same reference. Another one is a fixed deposit. Or the first one is a fixed deposit, the second one is the interest received. A fixed deposit mature. Show the original amount that was put in the fixed deposit is coming back and must be recorded, which is 25,000. And then the interest as well must be recorded. Hence, they say to you, create a new account, which is interest received on fixed deposit. So now on the bank statement, we are going to check this transaction with the reference number 04. Bear in mind, the original fixed deposit was 25,000. Now let's go to the bank statement. This one I want to show you. I want to show you so that you can understand. It's 04. Here it is. A fixed deposit. The amount here is 25,675. And remember, the amount from the bank statement is correct. However, in this case, we are going to record double transactions. The first one is a fixed deposit, which is 25,000. The second one is interest on fixed deposit, which is how much? 675 francs. That's why we separated this. The 25,675 is the original investment amount plus the interest. The amount has matured. Hence, it is coming back as 25,675. It's no longer coming back as 25,000. So because it has matured because of the interest. So now, 25,000 is fixed deposit. 675 rands is interest on fixed deposit. So now it's up to you which one you want to start with, but here is how we record it. It's up to you. You want to start which one, with which account. Now enter. Okay, the date from the bank statement is fixed deposit is it's 15. So the date is 15. Enter. GCS is a G. Enter. So now I'm going to start with fixed deposit since it's straightforward. I will type F for fixed deposit. Yes, fixed deposit. Enter. The reference must increase. I forgot to increase it, but it's fine. We'll put it as 4. This one is 4. Now, here you can type the name of the bank as your description. The name of the bank. Let me go back. Fuck. We don't activate text. The amount is 25,000. 1, 2, 3. Enter to the next line. So the same date, the date you don't change is still 15. Enter, enter, enter. Now we are going to use a different account. We have recorded the first account with fixed deposit. Now we must record the new account, the one that we must add, which is they say create a new account, interest received. So now this interest received is a receipt transaction. Therefore, let's sort our accounts. When you activate the account, the system is going to sort them, arrange them according to, you see, here are the expenses, here are the, after expenses, we'll have our incomes. So you need to know the account that you are adding, whether it's an income or an expense. Okay, I moved too far. I want income accounts, yes. So remember, the last account that was added is 2900, which is rent income. It was modified, in fact. So now you need to check the account numbers for your income transactions. The first income transaction is 2700. The second one is 2750. The difference is 50. 50 was added here to determine the account number for the next income. So from there is 2800. You see, addition of 50 to the 2750 is now 2800. Addition of 50 is 2850. Addition of 50 is 2900. Now, as we are creating another account, which is interest, the interest, we are going to say 2950. It is very important that you get the account number right, because the account number tell us on which group does this account fall to, falls under. This account that we are adding, it falls under the income transactions. Hence, we are using what? The pattern used under the income transactions, not under the expenses. So, if it's a balance sheet account, you'll go to the balance sheet account and look at the account numbers. Proceed from there. So 2900, it's our last income. So we say add. Now it's going to be 2950. You get 1 mark for getting it correct. 2950. And then you type interest on fixed deposit. Fixed deposit. Then you link the account. It's an income statement transaction. And it falls under income. It's other income. You do the same. You link it. Don't just add and save without linking. Without telling us whether it's an income or an expense. Other income. Here it is. You see. I left it as it was, income statement transaction. Other income. This one I did it myself. Other income. Then you save. After saving, you can now select it. We have it now. It's either you can search by the account number 2950, since you know you are the one who added the account. Here it is. Interest on fixed deposit. Enter. The reference is still the same. Enter. The description is still the same. You can indicate, maybe if you want to separate it a little bit, the name of the bank, and then also say interest, but it's not necessary. Interest. Interest received. Let's check. Is it taxable interest received? If it's not appearing, interest received, interest paid, it's not taxable. Leave it as 0. Then the amount is, the amount received, guys, is 25,675, meaning that 675 is the interest amount. 675. 675. Okay, let me pause here. Take the call. All right. If you don't understand how did I get this to 675, remember the amount that appears on the bank statement is 25,675. And then the fixed deposit, it says is 25,000. So you say minus the amount of 25,000, which is for fixed deposit. Then you are left with 675. This 675 is the interest received on the money that was put in for fixed deposit, 675. And I hope you understand the two accounts. How come we are recording two accounts? I hope it's clear. Now, let's move to number 5. Before we move to number 5, let me just activate increment reference, because our references are increasing automatically, so that I don't waste time. Number 5 here, it says cash deposit slip number DBS 001 for cash register roll CRR02 001. Only 900 for the cash was deposited into the account. Only 900. So now, this one, they are referring to the cash customer, the Z99. They are referring to the Z99. And if you check in the beginning, from the beginning of our question paper, I mean, from page 13, where our receipt starts, we do have that the cash register number CRR02 CRR2002. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. This is the receipt. This is the cash receipt transaction. Sorry, this is the Z99 customer, the customer that paid cash. Hence they say cash register CRR cash register roll number. This one, they are referring this one. This one is for the Z99 customer. All right. So we are going to record it. Just know that it's a cash customer, which is the Z99. The reason I'm saying it's a Z99 is because I want to ensure that you know what to select under the GCS column. All right. If you check on the bank statement here, it's 900, right? It's 900. And then the date is 15. Period is 2, date is 15. GCS is C. And time to get a list. Then we do have the option for Z99. All right. So you select the Z99. You press enter. The reference must increase. This is the last time you increase it. From here, it will change automatically. All right. Now, with this one, the description, you're not going to type settlement, because it's not settlement. We are going to type the cash register number. If you check on the bank statement, it's appearing. The CRR2, that's your description. Capital letter, CRR2/002. And then the amount is 900. And it's 900. Now we proceed. Next transaction. Our next transaction here, it says received interest on current account. Create account 2960. Remember the last account that was created, it was 2950. So in this case, they are telling us the account number to use. If they did not, it will be 29, it will be 3,000. So now, the reason they say you must use 2960 is because from 3,000, it's expenses accounts. So that is why they are saying they are changing the pattern from moving by 50/50, now changes by 10. Remember, 2950 is for interest on fixed deposit. Now it's 2960. It's because we are out of numbers now, we cannot proceed. The next number, if we move by 50/50, by increasing 50, it will be 3,000, and 3,000 is an expense account. All right? Don't be surprised on that. Okay. We are going to check this transaction, reference number 6, the amount. Number 6. And don't confuse the two. Don't look for P. It's R because we're doing receipts. R02006 interest, the amount is 617.38. The date is 30 March. The date is 30 March. Enter, and then date is 30. GCS is G, it's not the customer. So we are looking for its interest. They say we must create. You say add. Account number we are given is 2960. 2960. I will show you what I'm talking about when I say we are out of numbers if 3,000 is an expense. Okay. And then here you say interest. Okay. So interest is an income, right? Other income. Oh no, income statement. It's not a balance sheet account. It's an income statement account. Remember to link whenever you add. All right. Now let me say edit and search. I want to show you the accounts. So if you check here, our last income is 2960 because 3,000 it's an expense account, accounting fee. That is why from here we cannot move Mokeda by adding 50 here. Because if you add 50 here, it will be 3,000. And therefore, 3,000 is not an income transaction. That's why they say 2960. All right. Now we can select the account since we have created it. 2960. There you go, interest. So here you'll type the name of the bank. Then say interest. Let's check, is interest received? Taxable? Interest received, interest paid is no, it's non-taxable. Then we check the amount, 617, comma, 38, just like that. Now we can move to the next one. Received money with a direct transfer from Hayden. Hayden. So remember, Hayden is our customer, our first customer, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, for settling his account, his purchase of tax invoice on 3 March. It is clear the instruction, guys, for settling his purchase of tax invoice dated 3 March. So this one, it means we only refer to the tax invoice of the customer. Let's check here. Let's check here if indeed we are having this customer on. Yes, you see, hey, the date it says 0303. Now the customer is making payment for this invoice only. So if there is opening balances, we ignore because the instruction is straightforward. Settlement of the invoice dated 3. So you ignore the opening balance. If they say settlement of account and you know that there is an opening balance, and then it's then that you include both the opening and the invoice. Now let's check another thing that we need to check. Since we are settling this invoice, we need to check whether there was a return by this customer. Now remember, the return is we are going to minus the return from that invoice, because the customer cannot pay the full amount of the purchase, whereas there is something that was returned. The returns must be minused from the invoice. And then I have I've made a screenshot of the invoice so that you can see. Okay. Let me verify if this is the correct invoice. Nope, it must be, since the first one, it must be 01 here. And there you go. Here's the invoice. Now, the amount due to us from the customer, or the amount to be paid by customer, is 3,917.16 cents before returns. So we need to subtract my returns here, and the value of returns are 324.10 cents. This is the value of the 2 items that were returned by Hayne. So we must subtract this amount. So now I'm going to open a document where I will show the calculation, because I want this to be clear. Let me open a Word document or Excel. Let me just open Excel. Okay, there you go. Here I already did this. Here's Hayne. Here's Hayne on top. The total amount on the invoice is 3,917.16 cents. Let me confirm it again. The invoice is 3,917.16 cents. And then for the credit note is 224.10 cents. Let me go to the Excel. It's 224.10 cents. It's just, the system just shows one decimal here. If it's 0, don't be surprised. So now we need to minus. So we are going to do the calculation here to find the amount that is to be paid by the customer, equals to the total minus the returns, equals to. So now the customer is supposed to pay 3,593.06 cents if there are no terms. If there are no terms, remember the payment has been made on the 30th. The purchase was made on the, let me verify the date. Receipt number 6. Receipt number 6. It's receipt number 6. No, it's receipt number 7. Receipt number 7. Receipt number 7 is paid on the date. All right. We are given the amount. We are given the amount on the bank statement, which is 3,413.41 cents. So I am going to show you how did they calculate this amount, in case you come across the question mark, because We do have other 2 question marks here for Spiros and Golok. So I will also show you how did they arrive at this amount, 3,413.41 cents. All right. So this is the total amount that is due from the customer. But when you see on the bank statement, what you see on the bank statement is different. Why? Because a discount was considered, the terms were considered. So if you check on the question paper, there were terms when you do the sales. When selling to the customer, we said it to the customer, settlement discount of 5% within 30 days. We said to the customer, if you pay us before 30 days, we are going to give you 5% discount. And therefore, we need to check whether the payment was made within the terms. Okay, the purchase was made on the 3rd. The payment is being made on the 30th. Obviously, it's 27 days. So the customer qualifies to get a discount of 5% as promised. That is why the amount that you see on the bank statement is different from the amount that is calculated when subtracting the returns, you see. So now this amount, since there are terms and the terms are met, this amount multiplied by 5%, we get the discount. This amount multiplied by 95%, we get the settlement. So if you multiply by 95%, you should get the very same amount that appears on the bank statement. So equals to, I'm going to say this amount multiply by 95 divided by 100. Enter. This is the very same amount that you see on your bank statement. That's how they got it. Then discount equals to this amount multiplied by 5 divided by 100. Then this is the discount. So it is very important, guys, to also calculate the discount whenever the payment being made is not the total amount. If they were paying the full amount, this one, then there is no discount. But because the amount that is being paid is lesser, then it means there is a discount because of the terms. So this is our settlement, this is our discount. It's 179.65. We ignore the 3 here. All right. Let me write it down so I can transfer. The settlement already is there on your bank statement. So now I'm going to record it. Okay, the date of the transaction is 30, leave it as 30, GCS, it's C, enter until you get a list. It's Hain, enter until reference. The reference has increased automatically, it's fine. Then description, we are going to say settling invoice dated 3 March. Or settlement, sorry. The amount is 2,413.41. Discount is 179. There is a mark, guys, for the discount as well. 65. And turn to the next slide. The only time there won't be a discount is when the full amount is being paid. Then there's no discount to be calculated. All right, let's move to the next one. This next one says here, receive money with a direct transfer from Spiros for settling the full account. In brackets, there are no early payment terms on the opening balances. Guys, this one is straightforward as well. They are saying settling the full account, meaning that the settlement consists of both the opening balance and the invoice of the current period. So we need to check, and then also it says here there are no early payment terms on the opening balances. So now it means the opening balance amount, you take it as it is. You don't apply the calculation of the terms. I'm just moving up to identify the opening balances for Spiros. Now Spiros Mica is 1,000. You write it. Let me write it down. It's 1,344.86. Okay, already I've written it. I wrote it on the Excel. Here it is. This is the opening balance. This is the opening balance. 1,344.34 cents. And then now, invoice, total invoice, I wrote it as well, is 404.18 cents. Let's confirm from the screenshot that I made. Guys, I made this screenshot for reference so that you can see. Because if I can take the printout, it's going to be, yeah. So this is the invoice for Spyro. This is the invoice for Spyro dated 16. Let's verify whether it was the value on the 16 on the question paper. Dated 16. Okay. Yes. Spyro. Yes, dated 16. And the terms are 2.5% within 30 days. This one is going to be applied if the payment has been made on time or within the dates. Now, the date, let me check. Receipt number 8, Spyros, is dated Mhlaka 30. So the purchase was made on the 16th, the payment has been made on the 30. Obvious. 30 days is not yet, the payment is made within the 30 days. So we are going to apply this. 2.5% is discount, and then 97.5 is the amount to be paid. Because 100 minus 2.5 is 97.5. Let me show you. Equals to 100% minus minus 2.5, then is 97.5. Meaning that out of this 400, then we only apply this on the invoice because the instruction says no early payment on the opening balances, right? So 97.5% is the settlement, then 2.5 is the discount. All right. Now, because this one I want to calculate, it must be added. We were supposed to add these two together, but because there's a discount, we must calculate the settlement. So equals to the amount multiplied by 97.5 divided by 100. We get this one. So we add the two, we get our question mark. Now we are left with the discount. The discount equals to the amount on the invoice multiplied by 2.5 divided by 100. So this is the discount. The discount is 10.13. We take 2 digits after comma, right? So the third one is above 5, then it makes it right here. So the settlement, let's calculate the settlement, the full settlement, equals to this plus the 97% of the invoice. This is the amount. Now I can delete this one. So this is the amount to be paid, this one. And then this is the discount, 10.13 cents. The 10.13 cents is from the invoice, not from both. It's not from both. It's from only the invoice. So the settlement is 1739.39. All right, let's record. Date is 30. GCS it's C. Then it's Spyros Mica. Settlement of full account, description. Settling the full account. Let me just change here. Just been lazy. Setting the full account. Enter the amount. I said it's 1739. I will verify. 39, if I'm not mistaken. Let's verify from the spreadsheet. 1739.39. Discount is 10.18. Then enter until discount 10.13. Just like that, we are done with our cash receipt journal, but we're not yet ready to print because if you check on the question paper, they say we must print our cash receipt and cash payment journal after reconciliation. So let me show you the instructions. Here, this is the list of printouts, remember? Here's our receipts and payment. Here it is. Cash receipt journal, cash book 1 after bank reconciliation. So we can only print the cash receipt after doing the bank reconciliation. Also the cash payment journal. Cash payment journal of cash book 1 after reconciliation. So we are not yet done. It's just that we are done with the payment and the receipts now before reconciliation.